What's up, YouTube? This is 8210 Podcast. Continuing on, today we're going to talk about Paul Arizin. Now, he's kind of one of those stars who's been forgotten with time. Paul Arizin was born April 9th, 1928. He was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His parents were French immigrants. Arizin did not play basketball at LaSalle College High School, failing to make the team in his first 3 years before making it as a senior. Now, he graduated just a year before another basketball Hall of Famer, Tom Gola, entered the LaSalle College High School team. During his freshman year at Villanueva, Arizin played Catholic Youth Organization basketball. And this was like a Philadelphia Catholic basketball league during the time. You got to understand, Philadelphia has always been big on basketball. And during this time, there was a lot of small basketball leagues all over Pennsylvania. So, late in that season, at Villanueva, varsity basketball coach attended one of Arizin's CYO games. Afterwards, Severance, that was the coach's name, approached Arizin and asked him if he would like to go to Villanueva, to which Arizin said, "I already go to Villanueva." Arizin made the team in 1947. So, this coach, Al Severance was his name, he was one of the coaches at Villanueva, and he saw Paul Arizin balling out of his mind at this Catholic basketball league, and he's like, "Why don't you join our team?" Arizin made the team in 1947 in his sophomore year and played for 3 years. In 1950, he was named the Collegiate Basketball Player of the Year, and after leading the nation with 25.3 points per game. During a game on February 12, 1949, Arizin scored 85 points against the Material Center. Arizin also scored at least 100 points in a game while playing for Villanueva, but the game is not recognized by the NCAA because the opponent was a junior college. So he was a crazy good scorer in his day. Now, after being selected by the Warriors in the first pick in the 1950 draft, I read about Arizin being chosen, but he was, while he was going to Villanueva, he was studying accounting. He originally was studying chemistry, and he switched majors and he finished his master's in accounting. And during this time, he didn't think he was going to see any real money with basketball. So when the Warriors drafted him, Paul Arizin said in an interview, I've seen him talk about this, he said he wanted $10,000 for his contract, right? And the Warriors were like, best we can do is $6,000. So he's like, okay, thank you, whatever. It didn't bother him because the way he looked at it is, I can have a successful career as an accountant and I can still play basketball for fun. He said he liked to play at the YMCA. So thing is like, basketball wasn't really big back then, the NBA. So players weren't getting $1 million contracts. Although they reached out to him again, and they eventually said, "We'll give you $9,500." So he just decided to go with it, So he goes into his rookie season. He averages 17.2 points per game, and he's named the Rookie of the Year. And he joins the Philadelphia Warriors, who they're a few years removed from their last championship. Their first championship was the very first NBA season in 47. He's an all-star right away in his first year, and the team does pretty good. They go 40-26, but they lose in the first round. Paul Arizin, he was a very efficient shooter for his time. So like in his second season, for example, 51-52, he shot 44% from the field. That's the equivalent today of somebody shooting like high 50s, like for a guard. Picture like a guard today shooting like 55-56%, So he puts up 25.4 points per game on 44% shooting, and that would be his only scoring title in the 51-52 season. And they get bounced in the first round again. However, he got drafted into the Korean War, and he was in the Marines, right? And so from the 52-53 season and the 53-54 season, he didn't play any games because he was overseas, So he comes back to the NBA in 54-55, and he hasn't really lost a step. He puts up 21 points per game, and they don't make the playoffs, But in the 55-56 season, however, this would be the Golden State, or now they're called Golden State, but back then they were called the Philadelphia Warriors. This would be the Philadelphia Warriors' second championship. They go 45-27. They defeat the Pistons in the NBA Finals in 5 games. And this team had one of the best duos of the time. They had Paul Arizin, who's a super efficient backcourt shooter, and they had Neil Johnston at the center position. And they had Tom Gola playing on that team too, another Hall of Famer. He was a Hall of Fame point guard, sometimes shooting guard. But Paul Arizin pretty much, I don't want to say he invented the jump shot, because I think it's going to be impossible to figure out who invented the jump shot, but Paul Arizin had the idea to do it in NBA games, People back before him, they wouldn't lift their feet when they took a shot. They'd stay motionless. And Paul Arizin, I think this is why field goal percentages started to go up in the 50s, because players started doing jump shots. And so what happens to the Philadelphia Warriors team? He gets another scoring title. I may have misspoke earlier when I said he only had one. He had 2 scoring titles in his career. But he gets another scoring title in the 57th season. He puts up 25 points. I also want to mention he was a great rebounder for his position, But this Golden State Warriors team, they don't make it back to a championship. He later will go on to play with Wilt Chamberlain, and his final year would be in the 61-62 season, and that's the same season that Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points per game, and he himself averaged 21 points per game. So his career averages are 22 points and 8.6 rebounds on 42% field goal shooting. He's a Hall of Famer. Like I said, he's a 2-time scoring champion, a 1956 NBA champion, a 10-time All-Star, a 1952 All-Star Game MVP, a 1951 Rookie of the Year. And an interesting fact I don't think a lot of people would know is there were, at the time, maybe some people remember this, maybe not, there was a smaller basketball league. I'm not saying it's like the NBA or anything. And it was called the Continental Basketball Association. And he played on the Camden Bullets. And he would actually win MVP in 1963 over on that team. And he was a scoring leader. And just an interesting fact. Arizin was named to the 25th anniversary team in 1971. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame in 1978. He was selected to the 50 greatest players in 1996. And in October of 2021, he was honored as one of the top 75 players on the 75th anniversary team. And I think he deserves this. A lot of young people, they don't think Pitchin' Paul, that was his nickname, deserved it. I definitely think he does. He was a great scorer for his time. Rest in peace. He died December 12th, 2006 at the age of 78. So he was a great innovator in the game, bringing the jump shot over. So let me know what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching.